Hey there, it's Cooper Codes. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Leetcode question, angle between hands of a clock. So this is an interesting question because it's not that hard for being labeled a medium, but it really kind of tests out your problem solving skills. This is also a question that's currently being asked at Facebook and Microsoft, so it's a high value one to look into. All right, let's get into it. So let's start thinking about how we can calculate the angle of the minutes hand. So in this example on the left, you can see that the angle generated by the minutes hand is going to be 180 degrees. And the value of minutes in this example is going to be 30. One of the first things we can kind of think about is a circle has 360 degrees and a clock is a circle. Every single minute is going to be 1/60th of that, overall 360 degree circle. So we can do 360 divided by 60. This is going to give us the amount of degrees each minute is going to give us. And so what is this equal to? This is going to be 6. So we can kind of see there's a pattern here. So every single minute is going to be plus 6 degrees overall. So to get the angle of the minutes hand, we can pretty much do this. Take the value minutes and then times 6. So we can look at an example of this working. So on the left, the value of minutes is 30, for example, right? And so if we do 30 times 6, that's going to get us at 180, and that makes sense. It's showing us that 180, angle we saw before. So now we can start thinking about calculating the hours hand. So hours is a variable given to us in Leetcode, and it's going to be between 1 and 12. And it's still important to remember that a circle has 360 degrees here. Something with hours is 1 through 12. We know that there are 12 little subsections in the clock, for example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And so we can kind of use some math here. We can say 360 divided by 12 shows us the amount of degrees in each subsection. If you follow my mouse here, you'll see I'm kind of pointing at this one. This is an example of between 12 and 1. At 12, we start at 0 degrees, and at 1, we are going to go to 30 degrees. And so we know that each of these little subsections is 30 degrees total. So 12, we want to make sure starts at 0, so we're going to have to do some logic for that. But then at 1, we know we're at 30. So let's just take a look at how we can do some basic math to kind of get a starting point for our variable. Is we can say, okay, take the amount of hours and then times 30. You'll see this won't work for 12, but we're going to do an edge case for that later. But at 1, for example, if our hours is 1, then we want to be at 30 degrees. The 1 times 30 only gets us to a starting point. Then we have to factor in how the minutes hand is going to move our hours hand just a little bit forward. And so we can think about it like this. Every minute, our hours hand goes 1/60th through the smaller subsection. And so when I say subsection, I'm talking about between the 12 and the 1 or between the 1 and the 2. This 12/30 is a great example because at 30, we are actually 30 divided by 60 halfway through this subsection itself. We know this subsection is a total of 6 degrees, and so we can do some strange math. We can do 6, which is the total amount of the subsection, right? Times minutes divided by 60. You'll see this 6 times minutes divided by 60, if minutes was 30, for example, this is going to give us 3 degrees extra, right? And that's kind of how the math works out, is if we're at, 59 divided by 60, we're going to be just barely at the next hour, for example, and it's going to get us right there, right? But the easiest way to understand it is this logic here. Every minute, our hours hand goes 1/60th through the smaller subsection. And you'll see, if let's just say minutes is 0, right? It's going to be 0 divided by 60, and then it's going to be like, let's say 1 times 30. The hours hand is going to be directly aligned to that 30 degrees, for example, if the hours were 1. So let's replace our variables here so we can kind of have the overall equation for how we're going to calculate that. We want to find their difference, right? And so we can take the hours angle minus the minutes angle. We want to take the absolute value of that. So let's say, minutes angle is larger than hours angle. We're still going to get an angle result that's positive. Something kind of strange to think about here is this value created by the absolute value of hours angle minus the minutes angle might be more than 180. And why are we worried about it being more than 180? Let's just say the angle generated is 200. We know that there are 360 degrees in a circle. And so 200 is actually the larger angle generated. And so we can pretty much create some logic like this. If our angle is 200, for example, we know we want to get the smaller angle generated by those two. And so we can pretty much say 360 minus 200 is going to give us 160. And so that's kind of like a weirder math trick to kind of get that smaller angle when you know that, the absolute value of these two angles generated is higher than 180. If you want that smaller angle, you can go in there and say, okay, take 360 minus this larger angle generated and give us 160. If we get 160 just off the bat, the same logic kind of applies, where 160 is going to be our smaller angle. But from 160, you can still get the other angle generated, but it's going to give us 200, which is that larger angle, for example. And so yeah, now that we have a basic understanding of how everything works, we can go into the Leetcode and kind of code this out. All right, so let's get into it. A couple of things we want to make are all of our variables at the very top. So we know we are going to generate an hours angle, so let's set that equal to 0 initially, and then a minutes angle. Remember, these are the angles formed by the hours hand and the minutes hand. Then also we want to have a variable to save that overall angle we were kind of discussing at the end. So we know minutes angle is a super simple calculation. We're pretty much going to say take 6 and then times the amount of minutes given. Hours angle is going to be a little bit different. So one thing we have to initially consider is that edge case where 12, for example, over here is our hours, right? Because if it's 12, we want that hours angle to start at 0. If it's anywhere else, we want to do the calculations here to pretty much say, okay, 1 times 30 is going to give us 30 degrees, 2 times 30 is going to give us 60 degrees, 3 times 30 is going to give us 90 degrees. And so let's write that logic out. So if the hour given to us is 12, for example, we want our hours angle to initially be 0. In any other case, we can pretty much say take our hours angle and then set it equal to the hour times 30. Remember, that's 30 degrees for each of these smaller subsections. And like we discussed in the math previously, we want to go in and now add to our hours angle on top. We want to add how far that minutes angle is pushing us through the smaller subsection. And we've kind of already did that math. So it's going to pretty much be 30 times the minutes divided by 60. I actually had some issues with this before, so I had to do float over 60. I don't know if you have to do that for your example, but I already knew that's an issue, so I'm going to pretty much add the float here because it was doing some integer stuff and it was messing me up. So now that we have the hours angle and the minutes angle, we can now say this. All right, look at the angle and then get the absolute value of hours angle minus minutes angle. You'll see it doesn't actually matter which way you do this. It could be minutes angle to the left as well, because we're pretty much going to have logic under it that gets us the smallest of the two values anyways. So we can now take a look at if that angle is greater than 180, like we discussed before, we can return 360 minus that angle. And then we can just return angle in any other case. All right, so this should be a generally good working solution for how you can get through this problem. Let's run the code. All right, let's submit. Okay, looks good. So hopefully this has been a good question for kind of understanding a more easy medium problem and kind of possibly understanding some math concepts and kind of breaking down those math concepts to help us solve a problem. All right, thanks for watching.